What is going on, YouTube? It is Pokemon and Nintendo World Championships commentator Justin, the Justin Flynn, and I'm back with another Move Set Monday. And today is a build I just had to share when I came across it on PokemonForever.com. It is none other than Tornadus, made by Yu-Gi-Oh! Trav 12. I think he's throwing some numbers on the end of his name there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trav 12 on the PokemonForever.com forums. Really cool dude, and also made this amazing build for a Pokemon that we don't see very often. So I thought it was actually really interesting. Why don't we start with the ability here, which is obvious. We are no doubt going Prankster. And what Prankster does is gives the Pokemon's non-damaging moves a priority of 1. So that means it will usually go first unless someone else uses something like Fake Out or Extreme Speed or, you know, well, Protect obviously would protect you from any sort of move being used. But +1 is actually really nice. It probably is faster than like 90% of the moves in the game. So 99% most likely. Anyway, that's a great ability there. Some people run it Defiant, but we're going Prank Star. Anyway, the item that we're going to put on this guy is, of course, Leftovers, because it's going to be a little bit bulkier, and it's going to kind of annoy your opponents. Plus, it can actually deal a little bit of damage. It's a great Pokemon all around. Can be annoying, can deal a lot of damage. Let's start with the first move, and that, of course, is going to be a Taunt. Now, with Prankster, Taunt works really well because it's a status move, which means it's going to get that +1 priority. And you've seen this, I'm sure, on Thundurus and things, or yeah, on Thundurus, obviously, and other Pokemon. I think Sableye has access to Prankster Taunt as well. Sometimes Talonflames use it, even though it's not Prankster. It's just a really fast Taunt. But this is nice. You get the priority. Works really well, as you already know. So I don't need to say much more. But the real all-star move that this Tornadus has access to is a Prankster Tailwind. What? Y'all thought that y'all thought he was busted. Y'all thought Tornadus was busted. This is a really interesting move here that can set up the rest of the team for success, even if you end up losing Tornadus. It's so nice. Tornadus on the field, 1 hit point. You're gonna lose him. Boom! Prankster Tailwind, the rest of your team outspeeds for maybe the rest of the match. Who knows? It's a great move. So very interesting, and I'll tell you more about pairings that will help with things like that in the future. Anyway, the next move is going to be Hurricane. So Hurricane's a very powerful move, and it's only 70% accurate, but again, I'll tell you about some partner choices that will get that accuracy right up to the top. Can't miss in rain. There's a little tip for you guys. So Hurricane over, I think, Air Slash there. And then the final move to round it out, of course, is Protect. Protect, such a great move in doubles. You never know when an opponent's going to double target something, or just you need to keep something on the field to reduce spread damage. Protect, great move. Don't really need to explain it. Let's talk about spreads here. Now, this is going to be an interesting one, of course. That way we can do the damage we want, but also be bulky enough to survive certain things. We got the leftovers on it, so we'll be getting some health back every single turn. That's why we're going to be rocking that 252 in hit points. Going to give it a nice base there. Then we're going to go 100 into almost went 100 in attack. We're going to go 100 in defense. Oh gosh, I hope in my previous move spread I didn't mess that up, but I don't think I did. Did I? I don't know. Who knows now? We'll never know. All right, we're going to go 28 into special attack. It's going to increase the damage of that Hurricane that's already super powerful. You love it. I love it. We all love it. Plus, I think Hurricane actually has a secondary effect, which is that 30% chance to confuse the target. So really nice. Gotta love that. All right, now let's talk about special defense. We want to go 100 in special D as well, and then give it a touch of speed. Now let's talk about nature. We're going to go with the calm nature here. Where are you at? There we go. Which is going to give it the boost to special defense, but subtract from attack. So really nice here. Pretty even spread to both defense and special defense. I think that the reason you'd probably want to have a little bit more special defense is looking out for stuff like maybe an Ice Beam. But then again, you know, there's a threat of Rock Slide, but I'll tell you how to deal with Rock Slide in just a second. So let's first get into the damage calculations here, and then we'll talk about partners. All right, we're back with some offensive and defensive calculations here. The best thing that you can do is either pause the video and maybe take a little bit of an extended look at them if you want to read them for yourself, or you can check out the description for a link directly to this build on PokemonForever.com. Some of the interesting ones, obviously, to point out here would be the special attack. Gives it a chance to 2-0 KO Conch Elder. Of course, that flying damage, super effective against Conch Elder there. But Conch Elder, really, really annoying Pokemon, guarantees the 2-hit KO. And you see a ton of Conch Elder these days. So that's a good one. Defensively, I think it's really, really important to be able to take some hits from stuff like Sylveon. And I think there's a Landorus calculation right here as well. Let's take a look at that guy. Landorus, T, Rock Slide, 252 hit point, 100 defense. Tornadus, 48 to 56% chance to KO it, which means that we're definitely getting a 2-hit KO after the leftovers recovery. So super nice stats there. You're gonna get 2 chances with this, which means you can set up the Tailwind, you can throw a taunt out to somebody, you can even hit someone really hard with a Hurricane. Who knows? Again, you can pause the screen if you want to take a look at this, or check the description for a link directly to this. Now let's talk about pairings and threats. To start off with, let's talk about great pairs for this Pokemon. Anything that can bring the rain, very, very nice. You want to boost that chance of Hurricane hitting, right? So Hurricane right now, let's go over to it there. Hurricane has a 70% chance at hitting, which is, in Pokemon, 70% is more like 0%. So in the rain, you're going to increase that to full-on 100%, which is really nice. So you might want to throw them out there with something like a Politoed. Another great pairing would be a Wide Guard user. Probably Aegislash is a good Pokemon for something like that, and really anything else that you can think of that would go well with Tailwind. A nice Pokemon could be Mega Salamence. You don't have to invest as much as you usually do into speed. You can throw up that Tailwind, give it a little bit more defense, maybe give it a little bit more attack, HP, whatever you want. You can give a little bit more to something like that Mega Salamence. Maybe it can finally take that Ice Beam or something from Suicune that you couldn't take before. So it all depends on how you obviously do your spreads there, but it'll give you a little bit more room, reduce the speed a little bit, put some of those stats in other places. So that's another good Pokemon to pair it with. The things that you, of course, have to be worried about would be anything that's really going to wreck you with, like, Ice Beams. So you don't want to get hit from, like, Suicune. You don't want to get hit by even a Politoed that's, tossing out those Ice Beams as well. And just anything. It doesn't really matter. I could make a list of Ice Beam Pokemon, so just watch out for Ice attacks. I mean, Greninja, obviously. But another Pokemon to look out for is Landorus. That's what makes Wide Guard so great. Of course, a Pokemon like Landorus or like a Tyranitar have access to Rock Slide and can be really, really annoying. So a Wide Guard user can really shut those kind of Pokemon down. So it's actually a really, really cool Pokemon. Again, before I head out of here, I just want to say thank you so much to Yu-Gi-Oh! Trav12 for hooking it up with this build over on PokemonForever.com. It's really awesome. You do not see a ton of... did I call it a Thundurus? Probably called this like a Thundurus like 3 times. You don't see a ton of Tornadus out in the wild there, but use it. Maybe you'll surprise an opponent and you'll have a pretty cool battle. Again, give it those partners that it needs and watch out for those threats. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. To see me battle, catch shiny Pokemon, or learn how to become a professional Pokemon player, just click on the videos or check for links in the description below. Also, I started a new series recently where we look at the differences between towns in the Pokemon remakes. Feel free to click on that as well. If you can't get enough Pokemon, make sure to continue your journey by heading over to PokemonForever.com, where you can trade, find battles, and get tips from fellow trainers. See you next time.